Good morning, Fit for Lifers. Steve Lister here, coming to you for our Fitness for Life Week 2 movement and goal nutrition plan. I'm in Connecticut, it's cold. We got 4 inches of snow last night, so I won't be leaving the house to go to the gym today. So I wanted to do a quick 30-minute workout, just continuous movement, something that you guys could do at home. I hope that it's something that you can use. So what we're gonna do is just start off by doing some ranges of motion. We're gonna start off doing some shrugs. Just gonna roll our shoulders up and back, trying to bring them up to our ears and bring them back down. If you wanted to, you can put your hands on your knees and just shrug up. You can use your hands to push them up. The key is just keep moving continuously. After I do about 10 or 15 of these, I'm gonna just kind of increase my range of motion, going in a circular pattern, going forward, up, and rolling them backwards, trying to hit all the different parts of the trapezius muscle, the lower trapezius, the middle trapezius, and the upper trapezius. Now, if I want to make it a little bit harder, what I'll do is bring my hands down to the side and keep it moving. And once I do about 15 or 20 of these, what I want to do is go in the opposite direction. Then I'm going to roll them forward. So I'm going to squeeze them back, pinch my shoulder blades together, roll them up, touch my ears, and then all the way forward. Doing it like that. And then once again, a progression could be starting with minimal resistance, hands on the knees, pinching them back, rolling them forward. And we're breathing, keeping our core muscles tight. Good, this is a nice little warm up, getting our body ready to do some little higher energy activities. From here, what I'll do is I'll try to move into something that incorporates a little bit more muscle movement. I'm gonna do alternating front raises, keeping my transverse abdominis tight. Just gonna bring it up right to my chin level. Really working on the front deltoid. Now a little progression to this movement would be doing it with 2 arms. Kind of brings my weight forward a little bit, forces my low back muscles to work as much as I can. I'm gonna teach 10, 11, 12. Incomplete 10, 11, complete 12. So my core stability is not all that great, but I know that a lot of people have it worse. The higher the thoracic level, some of the cervical levels. So it means you might have to lean back in your chair a little bit more. When I try to do them, I try to lean forward in my chair. So from this direction, you can see the back, well maybe not, I'm wearing black, but the back of my chair is here. And so when I'm doing these, I'm trying to keep my weight in the middle and just moving it forward. And I'm breathing, keeping the belly tucked in. Good, and then from here, I'm gonna run into some biceps. So I've worked up my shoulders with the upper, middle, and lower traps. I'm hitting a little bit of a front deltoid here. I'm gonna roll this into an alternating bicep curl at your own pace. You know, go as quick as you want, increasing your heart rate. Alternating is our first progression, good for beginners, kind of keeps the focus on the muscle. As a progression, the more muscles we use simultaneously, the more strenuous it's gonna be. So, double bicep curl, focusing on the movement, squeezing at the top, squeezing at the bottom. Keeping my elbows tucked into the side. We don't want it out here like this. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. Any movement's good movement, but when we're trying to isolate the bicep, we keep them tucked into our sides. Same exact thing before, keeping that belly tucked in and just moving through good ranges of motion, trying to activate as many of the muscle groups as we can, stabilizing the movement. Like I said, I'm trying to do 25 to 50 repetitions, good form. These are a good warm up. We're gonna just keep everything moving. As we kind of progress through our 30 minutes of movement, we're gonna do a little bit more multi-joint movements, which are gonna take more control, more muscles being activated, burn more calories. So after I'm done with the bicep, I can go into the tricep. Coming to the side, just a little bit lean forward. We can keep one hand on our knee, leaning forward a little bit, keeping our weight on it, and just kicking the tricep back. Try to do 10 or 15 of these. Like I said, we're not having any weights in our hands right now. We're just moving, feeling our muscles contract, being able to make that mind-body connection, squeezing it, trying to take the momentum out of it. You don't want to be like, good isolated movement, just contraction. Nice easy progression. Hands on my knee, leaning forward into it, elbows in, squeezing it back. If we can, keep our head and neck in a neutral position to prevent this. Nice neutral position. We want to breathe comfortably, keeping our core muscles tight even though I'm leaning forward. If I can activate some of my low back muscles, I want to do that. As a progression to this activity right here, we can do the two-hand, keeping the belly tight. I'm not going to lean forward too far, but just the two-hand. Good. So from there, I've activated the shoulders with the trapezius muscles, the front delts, the biceps, the triceps. I'm just gonna come in to hit the rear delts and the chest with a fly motion. And I'm squeezing, keeping my transverse abdominis tight, opening up wide. When I'm on the extension side of it, I'm squeezing the rear delt. When I'm coming in here, squeezing the rear deltoids. And when I'm coming in here, I'm squeezing my chest. In nice ranges of motion. Breathing, keeping that diaphragm tucked in. You know, as a progression and you're leaning back a little bit, you don't have to worry about it. It's just getting the motion and activating the muscle group. Lamont doing this at the gym the other day with the cables. This is what he was doing. He was doing it nice and controlled. Good job, Lamont. Real proud of you, man. Love watching you working out. For the guys that are out there that don't have as much core stability, once again, you can keep one hand on your knee and just bringing it in, having some core stability and moving. Doesn't matter what we're doing, as long as we're activating the core muscles as much as we can, elevating the diaphragm, get a good extension and get a good squeeze. Get a good extension, get a squeeze. Looks like this, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. All right, these muscles are nice and warmed up. Got 2-for-1s. Got some rear delts and some chest. right, we're gonna roll up into some multi-joint movements. We're gonna get that heart rate up. We're gonna start off with some front biking, or, you know, people can say hitting the speed bag. Whatever it takes, you know, you wanna roll it out to the side, do some speed bag drills. I tend to just roll it forward. And when I'm doing this, I'm working the core as well. So I'm keeping everything tight in here and just rolling it. At this point, I'm not really having my back off the backrest, but as a progression, you can kind of roll forward. You scoot forward in your chair and really keeping the core tight as we're rolling through this. So then as a next step to this, after I do this for about 100 revolutions or 2 minutes, just kind of keeping moving at your own pace, trying to keep your heart rate wherever you think it needs to be based on our target heart rate goals. I'm trying to get up to like 120, 130. Then I'm going to start rolling it backwards. Once again, this is really, you know, hitting the shoulders, little anterior, posterior delt. We're pulling in some biceps, triceps on the extension. Multi-muscle movement, a little bit higher energy demand, so you're going to increase your caloric expenditure, getting our heart rates up. This is one of my favorites. It definitely gets my heart rate up. Keeping those abs tight, same thing, natural progression. If I want to scoot forward in my chair a little bit, really focus on it. Bringing in more muscle groups. Very good. So from here, nice progression is we just do some up and downs, some jumping jacks, if you will, sitting jacks. Get some of those lactic acid, that lactic acid out of those shoulder muscles, just by doing some nice ranges of motion. Breathing in on the way up and exhaling on the way down. Keeping those abs tight, breathing in, exhaling down. All right, so let's go from here into a rowing motion, just like a stationary rower. We're just gonna bring it in, bring it into your belly. This is working some of the latissimus dorsi, the rhomboid muscles, the posturing muscles of the back, just trying to pinch my shoulder blades together in the back when I'm doing this. side. As a progression, we can also move forward in our chairs, working on our balance. It's a little bit harder. I'm in a Rojo, so the air cushion's a little bit harder than the gel cushions or the neoprene gels, where it gives you a little bit more stability. The air cushion kind of dynamically moves around a little bit. And my balance isn't all that good, but it's just a posturing thing for me. Kind of moving it around. From here, we've worked those shoulders pretty good, those rear delts pretty good. Got a little bit of rhomboids and lats in here with this. From here, I want to just kind of focus on my core for a second. I'm gonna do this for another 15 repetitions. All right, and from here, I'm just gonna hit the core up a little bit more. Just do what you can. The closer your hands are into your body, the less balance comes into play, and just twisting, even if you just gotta get your elbows up and working it through the lat or some of the rhomboids in the top. But where I'm trying to get is a little internal, external oblique. I usually will use the medicine ball at the gym and keep the medicine ball tucked in to my abdomen and just roll with it, kind of on my chest like this. But since I don't have it here, I've been using some static posturing. Really, when I'm coming this way, I'm just trying to squeeze whatever I can. I'm hitting some of that latissimus dorsi muscle and squeezing it here, bringing it across here, trying to activate as much of the internal and external muscles as I can in the abdomen. But with my level of injury, it's a little bit challenging. I do have some core. I'm a, incomplete 10, 11, 12. 12 is complete. But working through the core is a challenge for me because I can't really actively isolate the muscle groups as effectively as I used to. But we try to just keep what is there going and really promoting the activity there. Trying to make that mind-body connection, having the body try to reroute any circuitry it can to activate some of the muscle groups we're trying to get firing. All right, we're gonna try to do 5 or 10 more of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's go on to some ropes, like the battle ropes. Just swinging it. Like I said, take this at your own pace. You want to get more aggressive with it, you can. For the one-hand variety, this is more than acceptable. Keeping a good base of stability, just moving with it. Try to do 25 each arm, switching it back and forth, just keeping it balanced. I know that we have some muscular deficits, so the key is you want to work your deficits. You don't want to undertrain your deficient side. So try to always challenge yourself. You know, once again, we're keeping that posturing upright, keeping my shoulders back. You know, we've also talked a lot about, you know, how do we get this posture right? I'm slouching forward in my chair. The key is just to activate the muscle groups as much as we can to try to create that muscle memory, activating those muscles as best we can for as long as we can. The more endurance and stability we have through these muscles, the better we're going to be long term, the more we're going to be burning calories throughout our day. Again, once again from the side, all we're really doing, you know, I'm going to pull forward in my chair a little bit, creating the gap. Pretending to do our battle ropes. This is something we're just going to be doing in our house. We can kind of roll our shoulders with it, you know, put that core into activation again. All right, so how I usually do a little cool down, move forward in my chair, and I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna jump rope. You know, actually you can't see my hands, hold on, let me back up. Basically all I'm doing is just moving around forward, and my momentum is just kind of bouncing me with my hands. Try to do this for our last 2 minutes. Get a little rock with it. Brings me back to the Rocky CD. I'm gonna try to do 25 forward. That's my 25. Then I'm gonna do it backwards. Let's go forward. We're coming to the home stretch here. Get that heart rate up. Let's push it. All right, backwards. Good job, guys. So remember, start off your workouts with stretching and some just basic movements. Finish up with some stretching and basic movements. Have a great day.